Today I am making Luscious lemon marmalade, sugar-free. I make it with allulose. I discovered a recipe and it was for orange marmalade, and I modified it just enough so that you can have a low-carb lemon marmalade, which is going to be amazing, just dynamite, on French toast, on a chaffle, French toast made with keto bread, of course, or a piece of keto bread toast. It's fantastic. I was running low. My lemons get ripe. I have 2 lemon trees in my backyard, so they're organic, and they get ripe around Thanksgiving time. And this is the day before New Year's Eve, 2024. And I thought, I'm almost out of lemon marmalade, and I don't think I could live without it. So I'm going to show you how I make it. I used 900 grams of fruit. And what I do, instead of using oranges for orange marmalade, because those have such higher carbs because of all the sugar, I use all lemons, and then I use 1 orange, which adds a little extra natural sweetness to it. And this is how easy it is. You just cut off end of your lemon, and you would cut off the other end if you bought them at a store, but because mine are from my tree, there's no real difference on the end, so I just include that too. And you just want to quarter it and then remove the seeds, which is super easy. Yes, I have my wastebasket over here. In case you think I'm just throwing them all on the floor. It's lovely that they have seeds, because that means it's a healthy plant and it can reproduce. And these are Meyer lemons. I've had the trees for more than 20 years, and they're just amazing, but all the lemons get ripe at once. So I'm always scrambling for great recipes for my lemons. And I used to make lemon pound cake and all kinds of things. And now I have to be a little more creative, a little more clever. And this is something I discovered that I could make that is just hard to beat. I hope you'll try this. Even if you have to buy store-bought lemons, if you have to buy, even if you have to buy lemons at the store, they're going to be fantastic, okay? And all you have to do, I like this serrated ceramic knife that I have, but I like a serrated knife over a chef's knife, just because if you cut them, and I put peel side up, and as you put them like this and you cut them, it goes right through the peel, as opposed to if you're trying to do it this way and you're cutting through the flesh first. It's just cleaner and easier to just go right through, right like that. And you want them about that thin. And then we're going to put those in the pot. But this just really couldn't be easier. And so it takes a little time, but it's simple. It's not, I won't use the word easy, but I will say that this is a really simple recipe. And then you put them in a pot with 2 cups of water. It's 900 grams of fruit, 2 cups of water, and then we're going to add sweetener. So it's really simple. You want beautiful jars to put it in. It can make a great gift. They're fantastic. So I was running out of my lemon marmalade, and I was starting to panic. Sometimes if you have an old jelly jar, a beautiful mason jar, you can put it in that, keep it in the fridge. They say it'll last for a week or 2, but I go like 3 or 4 months, and it's fine because I make a big batch. So that's it. We just need to bring this up to a boil. There we go. So we're just going to reduce it to a simmer and cover it for 2 hours. And during that time, I will check on it. I may take the lid off and stir it once or twice. And then we're going to finish it off, which is super easy. And it's almost done. It's halfway to being done. Okay, we have 2 hours to cook it. But in the meantime, don't go anywhere, because I'm going to show you what I do when I have to stay in the kitchen for a while and keep an eye on something, whether it's chicken in the oven or something that I'm not just making really fast in the air fryer. But if I need to stay around the kitchen, keep an eye on something, like I wouldn't leave this while it's on the stove. So I'm going to show you what I do, and it's super beneficial. You're going to be amazed. This is really fun. So I'm going to give it a little stir and turn it down to low. so it can simmer, and it will make these lemon peels so tender. It'll get all the juice out of the pulp. And this is the easy part. We just cover it. Boom. I'm going to put little holes by the spout. Okay, so it can escape. A little steam can escape. And we're going to set a timer. Ziggy, set a timer for 2 hours.
2 hours, starting now.
My personal assistant, right? So there we go. And it's just going to sit here for 2 hours. But in the meantime, I am going to show you something amazing. Here's a special bonus for you so you can see what I do when I'm not busy cooking in the kitchen. But I want to stay close and keep an eye on my lemon marmalade that's cooking. It's just on a low simmer. But you know how it is. You want to just go check on it every 20 minutes or so. So this is my vibration plate. They make a ton of these different kinds. One of my girlfriends just got the kind with the seed on it, and she's absolutely hooked on that. But I've had this one for about 2 years, and you just turn it on. I'm going to take my shoes off for this. Oh, it says Bluetooth mode. So I am going to stand on this. Now, if you have mobility issues, since this is keto over 50, you might want to check with your doctor before trying something like this. But if you're physically able and able-bodied, and you go walking and you work out at the gym and you do all kinds of fitness and exercises, you shouldn't have a problem with this at all. So what I do, it's got different programs. I'm going to go on the slowest one, and it's going to start. And that's a 10-minute program. And look at what it does. It shakes you all over your legs, your arms. You can do exercises and lean on it with your forearms. There's so many exercises you can do with this. So I'll be on the phone with a friend and they go, "Are you on your vibration plate?" I'm like, "Can you tell?" So it's really fun. That should work. So you can see my meatier part, you know, my waist and everything is just shaking. Now, to capitalize on this, I put on my workout gloves, little dumbbells, and while I'm on my vibration plate, I can get a workout in. And I will do 15 or 20 reps, 2 or 3 sets, and I do arm curls, and I do butterflies, and I can do an overhead press like this, and I do kickbacks, which are good for your triceps. My friend Michelle said, "You need one of these." This was 2.5 years ago. I'm like, "No, I don't." She said, "You do. They're amazing." So, of course, with a lot of encouragement, I finally got one. I ordered it on Amazon, and I'll link to this one in the description. I think it's like $100. It's negligible compared to the exercise equipment I've bought in the past. And I just absolutely love it. If you're in shape, this is a great fitness trick. It's wonderful. And if you're not, if you're walking with crutches or a cane, you absolutely don't want to do this. But I think you could check with your doctor. You might be able to sit on your sofa and just put your feet under it, and it'll help your circulation. So this is what I do when I'm in my kitchen for a few hours. I will watch TV, I'll watch golf, and I'll do it. A regular program is 10 to 15 minutes. I might do it 3 times in a row. So 30 minutes in a day, just trying to get into shape and be healthy and be as fit as I can be. It's really fun. And it doesn't feel like working out. And I think because I've been working out for about 30 years, it's just nice and fun to have something that's new and exciting and different. So everyone I've talked into buying one of these has contacted me and said, "Oh my God, I love it. I'm on it every morning. I'm on it every night." My friend who got the one with the seat built in, and I'll link to that one too. That's more. I think it's like $199. She's on hers for hours a day. But you will see, even with 10 minutes a day, it gets your circulation going. It's so much fun. And then I can eat my lemon marmalade. So the timer just went off, 2 hours. I've had dinner. I worked out on my vibration plate. It is a while. That's why I don't say this is easy, but it is absolutely simple. So the next step is to turn it up to medium heat and really get a rolling boil going. And then we're going to add the sweetener, which is 1.5 cups of powdered allulose. Now, I've shared this trick before. If you don't have powdered allulose, but you have allulose, you can just put it in your NutriBullet. Measure off the amount you need, 1.5 cups or 2 cups, put it in your NutriBullet and blend it, and you will end up with beautiful powdered allulose. So I'm bringing this up to more of a boil, and I'm adding 1.5 cups of powdered allulose and stirring that in. And we're going to stir it until it thickens, which is going to be about 20 minutes. It depends. And it depends on how hot the stove is and how your stove cooks. Another thing that I'm adding is, let me see, I'm going to do it by feel, some xanthan gum. And I think I'm going to do a teaspoon of xanthan gum. And I have to tell you, if you're not using this with your recipes for keto, you really should get some. And when I bought it, I had more than I needed to fill this container. I had some in a bag still. And I've been on keto for 2.5 years. And I'm just finishing it up now. You can see there's a little bit left in the bottom of this container. Allulose is the only sweetener that won't crystallize in this recipe. I have a secret way that I'm going to show you how to eat this that is going to blow your socks off. Really lovely. So we've got it at medium now. It's boiling. I'm going to stir it for a while. You can see the xanthan gum has blended in. The allulose has blended in. It is definitely getting thicker. We're just testing for sweetness here. It's still really tart. I like it that way. It tastes like when I eat one of my lemons right after I pick it off the tree. I slice it. I take a little sliver, a slice or a wedge. It's so good. And this captures that. It captures that bright freshness, that citrus tang. If you have any great keto lemon recipes, feel free to share a link down in the description. And if I can, I'll make it. And it's been about 20 minutes so far. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. Then I'm going to let it cool down. You don't want to put it in the jars while it's still boiling hot. You don't have to let it cool too long. So it's a bit of a project, but it is not hard. It's very simple. Just stand here. You can be replaced by a trained monkey. Stand here stirring. Congratulations for being on keto. Hey, put in the comments, how long have you been on keto? Have you lost a lot of weight, or are you just doing it to be healthy? What do you like most about it? I really have a sweet tooth, and I've never been able to stay on a food plan because all you could eat was sugar-free Jello. Who wants that? Now I can make cakes and ice cream. I'm like relieved because I was running out of it. And I had just picked a bunch of lemons from my tree. Oh, if I could lift it with one hand. Wow. Look at this. This was considered a big one this year. Usually I have really big lemons. You can put lemons right in the freezer. Okay, so the marmalade has been cooling now. You can see how much thicker it is than when I started boiling it. I think you can see. I think you can tell. I tasted it. I added about 2 tablespoons more allulose. And I started to pour some in the bottles because I'm still worried that it's a little bit hot. So I thought, let me put a little in, help it to cool down faster. And look at how gorgeous that is. I love the orange bands on these jars because it'll really make it look more like orange marmalade, citrus marmalade. And this is just one of those recipes that is such a benefit of keto that no other food plan I've ever been on. Could you have marmalade or cake or truffles or toast with peanut butter and jam on it. They were so calorie centric, you know? And this with keto, you just have so much more leeway. It can really be a lifestyle. It's not just a diet. It's a way to live, to make sure that what you're putting in your body is going to be good for you. Okay, so nothing's exploded yet. It's still really hot. I would recommend, if you make this, you give it a while to cool down. Look at that. I was right on with those jars. Just perfect. Every last bit. We want every last bit of rind and flesh. Now I will let these cool down, and before I close the lids. That would really be scary if I did that. But just look at these. They're just gorgeous. I'm sure I'll drop it if I screw around with it too much. But this is lemon in a bottle. Oh, and some on a napkin. You're not going to believe this. I have the most decadent treat. So how can you use this? Well, you could spread a little bit of Luscious lemon marmalade, sugar-free, on a piece of cake, maybe something like the ricotta cake that I make, the Italian ricotta cake that is keto. You could spread this on top of a cheesecake. Just put a nice warm glaze. I would heat it up a little bit before I do that. Put that over the top of the cheesecake. But I have a few examples of how I use it on a regular basis. I buy the inked keto bread from Costco. You can get it online. I can link to this down below to make it easy for you if you like. I also have a chaffle here, which if you haven't been making chaffles, if you haven't been making chaffles, you're really missing the boat. I have a 4 chaffle maker from Dash that I got on Amazon that is amazing, because when I started out, I was making 1 chaffle at a time. And you make the batter for 3 or 4 or 8 chaffles at once, and they hold up really well in the fridge. So it's made with mozzarella cheese, egg white, almond flour, and xanthan gum, which is a thickening agent. And I've recently started using a little bit of bamboo flour, which makes them extraordinary and more crispy. So I will maybe put this under the broiler in the oven for a few minutes to get it a little warm and crispy. And then I use my favorite Crazy Richard's chunky peanut butter. I buy this like 5 of them at a time because it's got such big bits of peanuts in it. And then I have my marmalade. But here's a trick for when you really have a sweet tooth that isn't going away. If you've seen my recipe for the best chocolate chip keto cookies, I put toasted pecans in them, Lily's dark chocolate chips, Lily's white chocolate chips, and these are so good. And I only do this once in a while, but it's so decadent. I want to show you. I turn it upside down. There you can see through. You can see the, there you go. You can see the chocolate chips through the bottom of it, how they melted. So then I take a little bit of my peanut butter. Whoopsie. Okay. Make a mess, RJ. Try to keep it on the cookie. And I spread just, like I said, just once in a while when I really am just like starving. I did very well at my dinner. I'm intermittent fasting. I'm not cheating at all. And this isn't even really a cheat. It's just so decadent. It feels like it. So here we go. I got more peanut butter on my hand than on the cookie. And then you just take, when I say I just use a little bit of this, that's about probably a half a teaspoon maybe. And it's just enough because it's lemon marmalade instead of orange marmalade that it has just such a beautiful consistency, texture, a little bit of tartness, and with the sweet, incredible. So I almost can't even eat a whole cookie. One of the things that I really, really love about this combination is the brightness of the citrus, the lemon. And you don't have to worry because it's not an orange. Yes, I put 1 orange in there with 6 lemons, 900 grams of fruit. Recipes down below. If you're enjoying the content, please hit subscribe and like and comment. Let me know what you think of this. Do you miss marmalade being on keto? There's a few companies that make some, and I've tried them all. And that's what set me on this mission to find a better way to make it with my organic lemons. I just hope that you try this because I know you're going to love it. I just know you're going to love it. So stay beautiful. You are fantastic. You're on this journey with me to be healthier and to cook keto and enjoy. We get to indulge our sweet tooth if we're willing to make a few things. That's why I really love this, why this plan works for me. This luscious lemon marmalade is just one of the best things you'll ever have. Thank you for joining me. This is RJ at Keto Over 50. Stay beautiful. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Yum.